Before what?
Before I answered, I would have said I'm leaving.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to welcome everybody to this meeting. Roll call.
Charlene Hayes. Sharon Hostetler. Present. Susan Snyder.
Present.
Steve Carter.
Present.
Fred Chittett.
Present. Approval of May 5th meetings. Minutes?
Motion to approve the May 5th meeting.
Somebody second it.
I second it.
Thanks.
And we got a public hearing rezoning request.
All in
All in
favor?
favor?
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
At this time, I'd like to have the floor adjourned. I would like to excuse myself from this public hearing on this first issue on Beechwood to alleviate any conflict of interest.
We would want him to stay for some questions if anybody has any questions, wouldn't we?
Yes. Yes, that's fine.
Don't we have the staff report before we have the citizens' comments?
We do, yes.
Yeah.
And so is it, and I'd refer to the city attorney here, is it okay for him to sit at the dais?
Well, that's what I was gonna say is customarily, of course you do what you want, customarily you would move to the audience to
Yes.
symbolize that you're. Yeah. So we do the audience.
You'll be back. Okay.
So we have a public hearing to receive comments on proposals of rezoning the three parcels located at or near 1437 Beechwood Drive. Steve Carter is the applicant, is requesting rezoning from R1 Family Residential to C2 General Commercial. Do I have any comments about that? Yes, sir.
I'm opposed to it.
You're opposed to it.
I live right down the street from there.
Uh-huh.
Could we get him to give his name?
Yeah, your name?
Oh, my name is Jim Wright. I'm sorry, Mr. Carter.
Okay.
I live there.
Let me ask the
Okay.
chairman. Mr. Chairman, before we start,
I think that
are you doing a time limit or not?
5 minutes is what we usually
Oh,
do,
that's
isn't it?
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
All right. So my name is Jim Wright. I live right down the street from there. Recently, I received something in the mail for future plans for the city and how to make improvements and stuff like that. One of the comments I sent back was, we got to start looking at areas that are blighted. So I don't know whether we come through this, not, or you filter through any of that stuff like that, but there's several areas now in Beechwood that are blighted. I mean,
Is that what you're saying, that his property appears to be blighted?
it's a dump.
And well, I go by there today and it looks like he's making improvements on the property.
Somebody cut the grass, thank you, okay?
Well, it looks like he's rebuilding stuff too.
And I hope that's the case, okay? But right now, it hasn't been the case, it's not the case today. There's literally a landfill on that property, okay? So if you walked on that property, you didn't get out of your car.
No, I didn't get out of
Okay.
that.
Because there's boats upside down, there's this insulation stuff that's laying all over the place.
Mhm.
It's blighted, it's a blighted area. I mean, I would think in most cities you would be fined for that. So maybe there's difficult times, it's a bad time, the economy or whatever is preventing us from making us look better. But when someone drives by there all the time, I hate to have anybody come visit.
At what point on the road do you see that? All that stuff that you're talking about?
When you drive down the road,
Hold up. One person at a time.
I'm
Mr.
just
Chairman,
asking him a question.
when you drive up the road or down the road.
this is the time for public,
Yeah.
and then the
let's not
council will
just-
have the board will have a chance to speak in a minute.
Go ahead, sir, I'm sorry.
Now, when you drive up or down the road, it is bad, okay? I mean, it's not just Steve's property, okay? I mean, I love him. But it's an eyesore, it's bad, and if we're gonna make the city look better and attract more people wanna build houses instead of bringing more trailers around, okay? We got to focus on making this a better looking city. But we have to get after the people on this property and make improvements to make the city look better. It's a great city, I love being here. But, you know, when we got stuff like this going on, there's another one, is this yellow boat over with a big rusty sign been sitting there for who knows how long. Right off, and Beechwood, in my opinion, is kind of the main street for Sunrise Beach. You go right across Highway 5 to the police department, the donut shop, and the nice looking shops. They did a good job fixing that up. You go down Beechwood. I've been down there picking up trash, personally picking up trash twice this summer alone. I want it to look nice. I'm sure anybody else who lives around there wants it to look nice. But this area that we're talking about today doesn't look nice. If you haven't been by there to look at it, to get out of your car and see the landfill in there, it's pathetic. I don't think it should be, unless there's plans to make it look really, really nice, which I don't know what they are, but it can't stay like it is. It's pathetic. That's the end of my comment.
Next.
Can I respond to him?
No, you get, I mean, you'll have a chance to speak too,
Okay.
as a speaker. I don't know whether you want to do that now or you want to.
No, it doesn't.
You wanna
Don't we
wait
want to
till
do the
everybody-
opposition first, then the FAR, and then let him question?
That's probably the best way to
The
do it.
lady in the back.
Yes, my name is Debbie Dixon. I live on Cliff Drive. Beechwood is the main road. I mean, I read the notes that the city manager put in there about the other businesses on Beechwood Drive, and I agree with that. It is a mixed use road, but all the residents go off of Beechwood Drive. All of us that live there have to go on Beechwood Drive to get to our homes. And the area that I'm at, Cliff Drive, which I think a lot of people here are in that area, we have to drive by that property a lot. And I love to walk. I'm always walking on the streets, and I'm walking by that property as well. And Beechwood Drive is a very busy road, but that area is the end of the busy part. And if we have a business there, I think that's just gonna increase the traffic. And the description of the business that's proposed was boat sales and service. So that means boats coming down the road. And it's not a very wide road. And as you know, the condition of Beechwood Drive is in really poor condition. And if we have more heavy vehicles coming down there, it's just gonna get worse. My other concern was just finding out about this hearing today, because this is the second planning and zoning meeting that I've attended. And the other one was, I think, about 5 years ago, when the West Side RV Park went in on Fairview. And the reason I knew about it was because there was a sign on the property saying that there was gonna be a planning and zoning meeting. And I'm one of the people that, like the 30 people, that watch the YouTube videos and try to keep up on what's going on in Sunrise Beach. And I almost missed this if the neighbor hadn't told me. So I don't know what the process is about notifying area residents of proposed, especially if it's going from residential to the C2, which the description sounds like anything could go there. I mean, a bar could go there, a hotel or whatever. Just the notification process. But now I know where to look, and I'll look, but just for, for future zoning, because, I'm sorry, I didn't remember your name, but I agree. I want Sunrise Beach to grow. I want more businesses, but down that area probably isn't the right place. I know, especially for boat sales and service. So that's all. Thank you.
Anyone else?
My name's Brenda Anchor and I live on Cliff and our property's right across and I can show you the dump, like
Well, I got it too.
it's. That's,
Start down there.
there's others too, but that's deep in the ditch behind there. You'll see it. But it's like a ditch filled with. I didn't know somebody tore their house down and they dumped it there, or,
Yeah, is there more?
yeah. I agree, it's mowed up today, but like this is bad. That's insulation just sitting there.
Okay.
Anybody else?
Any other comments? Yes, sir.
I'm Scott Backer, I'm Brenda's husband.
Yes.
Our property is kitty corner across Beechwood from Steve's. You know, and it's a nice corner, it'd be a good building lot with a beautiful view of the lake, but he's on that commercial across the street, you'll never be able to sell it, nobody will want to build there.
Anyone else? Lady up front.
My name is Carla Yuri Lent. I live on Cliff Drive. I moved here 5 years ago and did a lot of research driving lake roads, looking for a home that I didn't have to go through unattractive or junky looking areas. I didn't want that to devalue my property. And off of Beechwood, and I'm on Cliff Drive, it fit the bill. There are a couple of places that are a bit of an eyesore, but for the most part, it's somewhere that I'm proud to be. I do not want a business going in there. For years, it's looked very bad there. I work out and driving by it 2 to 3 to 4 times a day, and there has been progress, which has been appreciated. But if we have a business there, there's insulation everywhere, there's metal everywhere. The traffic alone, what it's going to do to the roads, which are already, you know, I hate to call and complain, but I have to sometimes because they are so bad. And I just really feel it is not anything that personally I want to see in that area.
Anyone else?
Yeah, I can't see, nothing against anybody, but I can't see
We're gonna have
how
to have
putting
your
that
name.
there will.
What's
I'm
your,
Larry Odell, I'm sorry, live on Cliff Drive, I apologize. I used to be on the planning, zoning, and the boards, I just figured most people know each other, I guess they don't. I can't see how it would be a benefit to the community to put a business down on Beechwood. We already have some businesses down there that were grandfathered in. We have Polly Lift, who does a real nice job of keeping their place up in shape, and Sunrise Heating and Cooling doesn't keep it up so that they just answer the phone and run a truck out of there. The resort down there, Kurt's Resort was there before. The precast place was there before. So everything was been grandfathered in. And I just can't see where it would better the community to put it down there. When we put the sewer and water in, I was on the board through all of this stuff. It was put in on the main corridor for businesses up on the main corridor, not businesses down in a residential area. And this is one of the most busy residential areas that there is. And a lot more could come in and will come in, I think. But I don't think we need 40 and 50-foot boats turning around. We were kind of supposed to get an overlay and we didn't get that, but that's another time. And if we do get one, I don't think that'll help any. It is the busiest road in Sunrise Beach, and we do have the most full timers. We have a 3-way stop there that Scott has talked to me about which way we need to put yield, and it's congested enough down in there without having any more down in there. I just can't see how it would help when Sunrise Beach would benefit more having him on the highway than having him down in a residential area. I don't see that that's going to help things at all down there. I don't know. I understand it's going to be a mechanic business for big boats, and there's some turned upside down, like this gentleman here said, and it just doesn't. I just don't see that it would help our property value or neighborhood a bit. So.
anyone else? Sir?
I'm Gene Delaney. I live on Cliff Drive, and I'm opposed to the rezoning.
Okay.
I don't see any reason to rezone to put a business in a residential area. You're only going to damage property values, damage the roads. And I agree with what everyone here has said, except with one exception. I don't care what he puts in there. I don't care if it's the best looking business ever. Businesses don't belong there. That's a residential area. There's plenty of commercial space to be bought. If he wants to open up a boat shop, whether it be sales or repair, he can do it out on Highway 5 or someplace where that belongs, not around the corner from where these people have chosen to live their lives, retire, raise kids, whatever it is. And I also agree, it looks terrible. I have people that come visit me and they ask, we know how you are, have you not talked to the city about this place? And I'm like, I think that a lot of people have, and nothing seems to get done. It does look like it. It does look like crap. Cutting the grass doesn't change that. Pushing the boat back behind the hill where it's hard to see it now doesn't change that. You're just trying to hide what's really going on there. Yeah, I'm opposed to that.
Anyone else? Yes, ma'am.
I'm Carol Strobel, and we live on Center Street. We've been there since 1953. We're thinking of moving from Albuquerque to the good old state of Missouri and being here full time. And I cannot believe that you guys, well, us, would put up with something like that. For years, we have fought little junky things happening in Sunrise Beach, and everybody's trying to do the right thing, like Campers Cove. We live right next to Campers Cove. It used to be blighted, but now the family's trying to make it nice. They've got their trailers, and it's nice, family oriented. And then you go up to that pile of you know what, and it's getting worse. I stopped there on my way here. There was a herd of 10 deer that would not be happy with a bunch of boats and stuff pulling in and out. And you know as well as I do that a 50-foot boat has no business on an almost 2-lane little tiny road. And you hit the neighbor's mailbox getting in and out, and you just shouldn't have a big business like that. Air conditioning people, that's fine, you know, within reason. Common sense is the thing. Anyway, I'm opposed to it being a business, and my husband is too, and it's a good thing too.
Is there anybody here for it? Do you want to allow Steve to make a comment?
Yeah.
Okay, would you like to make a comment?
First, I'd like to thank everyone for their comments. I am the property owner. And that property was all bought through auctions. The house was dilapidated, the roof was caved in, the siding was rotting off of it, and all the floors caved in on the floor inside. And it's been a long process for me because I've been doing most of the work myself, put roof on it, started to do the siding, replacing windows, all the floors inside of the house, replumbed, rewired. And it is a long project for me to do this by myself. I have hired a contractor, and he is starting to do the work on that house. Next door to it, the proposal that I'm putting there, and they already have the building permits for it, is a shop building that is only 60 by 60 with a house that is attached to it that is 40 by 50. This is brand new construction. It's all steel, black roof, tan exterior, and it'll have decorative roll-up doors on the building. This has been a project where I'm cleaning property up. There are some boats back there that are upside down. There is a bunch of materials in the back that came from working on the house, torn off decks and so on and so forth, and roof. It's all going to be disposed of within the next 6 to 9 months. And the building should be started next spring. As far as your concerns about a business operating out of there, it would only be, it's very limited, it's part-time. There's not gonna be 50-foot boats coming in and out of there. The largest boat that will ever come in there would be 43 foot. So if, if there's something other than what everybody's expressed, I'd like to thank you for your comments, and I'm not trying to make anybody mad or anything else. It's just, I'm only one person and I can only do so much. And like I said, within 12 months, the construction will be started and that lot's gonna be completely cleaned up.
Can I ask one question of the Planning and Zoning Committee? If this lot is changed to, I think, what is it, C2 or commercial, and he decides to sell it and somebody decides to put in a bar, it's done, is that correct? Once the decision's made, the decision is made.
And
It's
then
not,
you one who's going to do another one.
right, and that would be the second part of my comment, is once the precedent is set, can it just keep spreading? And okay, all of a sudden, Beechwood is gonna be the commercial street of Sunrise Beach. And the rest of us, well, good luck. So that is correct, though, once the decision's made,
The
is
city
that correct?
served, I'm sorry.
No, I'm just asking, I like an answer from the planning and zoning. board.
Yes,
Is that
unless the new owner would come in and want a different zoning,
correct? Okay,
then he would apply for different zoning. So,
Okay.
I mean, that's the way it works.
right. But this zoning would allow them to build just about anything they want.
It's listed on
It's
the.
listed, yes,
Yeah.
it's a pretty
Pretty
much.
extensive list. Yes. Bar, restaurant, hotel, yeah, it's all there. Bank, maybe we'll get bank.
Good location. Okay, what do you know?
Board discussion or commission discussion.
Okay, see
So,
you later. Doesn't he need to leave? Yes, no?
no, he can say it's public.
Oh, okay, okay.
So, I always like to start off with a motion, and I always like a motion to be in the affirmative. Because if you have a negative motion, it gets confusing to everybody. So in other words, the proper motion here, so we can all keep track of what we're talking about. And you can make a motion even though you don't feel that way, maybe voting against it. But the proper motion should be to approve the zoning change. That does require a second. So that way, if you're voting yes, you're voting to approve the zoning change. If you're voting no, you're voting to reject the zoning change. Does that make sense to everybody?
Now that is in planning and zoning. It's a recommendation for the
Yes.
board.
Yes,
So we do not change it, the board changes it.
yes, ultimately.
Yeah, and this is our attorney, by the way, if anybody didn't realize that. Okay,
Hello, those of you I can see.
Does anybody want to make a motion to approve the rezoning of this property?
so we're doing that before we even have any kind of
No,
discussion?
no, so you make the motion and then you have the discussion.
Yeah.
And I would suggest, even if you don't want to support the doing that, I would ask that somebody make that motion so that there can be a vote on the record. If there's just no motion, then it's not really clear what was
Okay.
done.
So I make a motion, we vote on the zoning,
I
Yes,
second
to
it.
change the
Okay.
zoning.
change
second
the
it.
zoning.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we
Now
have
you
a
have
discussion.
discussion.
Okay. All right. Anybody want to start?
Well, I'll start with, I appreciate Steve, doing what he has done so far. I do not live down there, but I do have friends that do, and I do travel that road. And I know, I do see some, bad looking properties along there. And I think Steve has done a really good job so far. I've been watching it slowly come together. It's not going at a fast pace. But as I said, I did drive down there today to look at it, and I feel confident that he'll clean the property up and make it look nice. And a nice new building would make that look nice. And I don't think, I personally, the deer part, there's so many deer down there. I've never seen so many deer on one road at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Everybody feeds them, of course, which is not a good thing, but
Are you gonna tear down the house that's there then, when you build this other thing?
No.
Okay. And how,
What are you gonna use it for? What are you gonna use the house for?
Residents.
Yours?
But I thought you said you were building another house behind there.
No, in the lot next to it,
Okay,
there'll be a 60 by 60 shop,
okay.
and it's what they call a shouse.
Right.
But the house, instead of being like in the loft or behind it, it's actually on the side, has a big nice front porch and stuff on it.
Okay, so you're currently,
He's got all
you're
three.
currently, are you currently fixing boats there?
Yes.
Okay, so what's the purpose of rezoning it if you're already doing that?
Because I want to be able to have the correct insurance. This will probably be the only building in Sunrise Beach that will have a built-in fire protection system.
You know, it's, I drove up and down Beechwood. I have driven up and down Beechwood 100 times. And because I do go look at all the streets that we have been trying to pave, we've been trying to get paving done in all the streets. I'll be honest with you, I didn't ever think of Beechwood as a residential street because I don't see that many residences on the street. Now, off of every street that's off of Beechwood, there are houses, but when you first pull up onto Beechwood, that's all businesses all along there. So I just assumed that was a business row, my own assumption. And just to answer about the paving, we're trying to get a grant. So if that happens, we will be paving Beechwood. When somebody's asking for zoning, especially commercial zoning, I think a lot of people get a little freaked out about it being close to their house. And I happen to live right next door to Bear Bottom. So I knew that was there when I moved in. I knew what I was moving into by, and it didn't bother me. So that's just my opinion. We like to have businesses in town because business is the only thing that supports Sunrise Beach. As you well know, we don't have property tax. All we survive on is sales tax. So a new business, my eyes light up because I'm thinking of dollars to pave the roads and to do all the things we do in Sunrise Beach. We have talked unstopping about needing housing in this area. And a big problem we have with the Sunrise Beach area is the topography. It's rock. So builders are not inclined to come here and say, oh, yeah, I'm gonna buy that and have to fill it in and chip away rock and do all that to build houses. So we're not having a lot of success as far as trying to get builders here to build housing, although we do need housing. We need workforce housing. And I agree with that completely. I know when people hear about something coming in, a business or whatever, they automatically don't like it, but we can't really make that determination just because people don't like to live next to a business. I just don't think that's prudent for our city. You know, that would be all up and down Sunrise Beach. Every road has something. There are bars that are along little side streets and stuff. So I don't know if we can characterize Beechwood as a residential street in that manner.
It's a mixed use, all up and down.
It's mixed, yes. And, you know, there's churches, there's,
Right, right.
and
Polylift,
Polylift, which
Polylift,
I
yeah.
love you, Polylift.
Yeah.
But they are a major business that has tubes and steel.
And Polylift is that back door of that property, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
There is
No.
very
No.
little,
Not even
No,
close.
no,
there is
There
very
are
little
is.
houses
There
on
are is.
Beechwood itself.
It's a way.
It
It's a
kind of
waste.
sounds like you've already made up your mind about how this is gonna go.
No.
No, but it's not
Not at all.
true. We have
Not at all.
to decide whether or not, we can't just say
We
no
can't
to
decide.
somebody because a couple
We
people
just
say they don't
recommend.
like it. We have to do what's good for the community.
I mean, I'm sorry, I don't think it was a couple of people just saying they don't like it. They gave you specific reasons. I didn't buy a house there to have a repair shop around the corner from my home. If I did, I had thousands of options to take. I chose here because of where it was and what was there. Polylift was there, like you said, Bear Bottom was there when you moved in. You accepted that. Poly was there. Those other places were there. not a boat sale and repair shop around the corner from my house. That was not there and shouldn't be there. He wants to make money. Build a house and sell it. We need places for people to live, then build a house and sell it. Build multifamily or something. Build condos. Got plenty of space for that. Why do we have to rezone so that he can have a repair shop? That's what
Well, he doesn't even have to
I just want to jump in here. So public had a chance to talk, now the council is supposed to be talking, or the commission is supposed to be talking.
Aaron, you got anything more to add?
I do, I'm sitting here listening to everyone, and I do have some questions directed at Steve, and that is that you're building a home and you're repairing a home. Correct?
Basically, there's 3 lots,
Yes,
okay? There's a large building, storage building on one lot. The other lot, there's a home that's being rebuilt.
yes.
The lot next to that is where there's a house going to be built.
Right.
And it's not gonna, it will not look like a commercial building.
Correct.
It has a house built onto it. It just has large overhead doors on the side of the house.
Yes.
And
I know
it's
where
a
the
2-level.
house is.
It's a 2-level.
Why do you need all 3 lots put into commercial if you've got one home on there that you're repairing?
I was just wanted the whole thing zoned, or where it's all zoned. If I have a boat in the storage building on the 3rd lot, it's all my insurance is all blanketed, it's all the same.
So your intent isn't to sell the mobile home?
No, I'm not selling anything.
This is a current house right here.
Correct, it's a mobile home. Correct?
No.
No, there's a home there?
Mhm.
I think I need to drive down there. Because you talked about a mobile home being there?
No.
No.
Oh, okay.
Now, the home he was redoing was quite falling in, and he has really done a lot to it from what I've seen, and again, I drove by there today to check on the progress, and that's probably been 2 months since the last time I drove down through there, and I could see more improvements. So, you know, he is getting more done.
I looked at that property to buy before he bought it, and I think it was under $20,000 for the whole piece of property at one time. And so I think, you know, anybody that's got the city, again, the city sewer was set up around the main corridor to put businesses out here. I know
Well,
property goes
we're
higher.
supposed to be discussing this amongst us
Huh?
and not you all,
Okay.
so let
All
us
right.
discuss. Do you have
I
any
don't
comment?
understand.
You do not. Anyone else have any comment?
Well, I don't, yeah, I do.
What would you like to say?
Okay, so he's currently running a business out of there, okay? And it's residential.
Mhm.
What is the purpose of changing it to commercial? It sounds like the residents are concerned that once you rezone it, anything, you sell it, anything can go in there. That's a big concern to them, so.
If you check the city records, there is already, I've already applied and got approved on all the structures that I'm
If
getting.
you still can do that residentially, you don't have to change it to.
Well, he's
commercial.
wanting to be able to insure it commercially.
Yes. If I have a boat in there that's worth $500,000,
You can't
I
purchase,
can't,
you can't purchase insurance for that, an umbrella
not in
policy?
residential zoning, no.
Why not?
My insurance company said no.
Well, there are umbrella policies that, you can get $1 million umbrella policy on your residential,
No, I'm talking about for a person's boat.
another person's boat, they should be insured, correct?
If it's in my possession.
They're still insured. I don't understand I think that residents are really, really concerned over the fact that you want to change the zoning and you're currently running this property as it is. You know, a business already. What's the point?
like I said, I just want to be able to do it correctly and have my insurance coverage. Because
I think they're also concerned that they think that it's blight and they want it cleaned up, and I think we
that's
should.
not an issue.
That's a different, that's
I
a whole different
understand that,
subject. That's
But
not what we're talking
this is what
about.
I'm hearing from them.
Yeah, the blight is a whole different subject, and so that doesn't have anything to do with zoning.
So are we ready to take a vote on this? Anyone else have any comment?
I'd like to say that I don't think that their main concern is the junk.
Correct.
Their main concern is even once the junk is gone and a business is put in there and say it's a high traffic business, it disrupts their way of life. And I know the city needs the tax dollars, I know that. But if I were a citizen on that side of the thing, I would have to say, I don't want that. I would have to say that. And unfortunately, it hurts the city and it hurts you, but it doesn't hurt them. And the resale value means a whole lot to people. I know it does to me. And the slightest thing can cause resale of my home to plummet. And I don't want that. So my concern is for both of you, because I understand you want to be a businessman and you want to do things properly.
I don't think they understand. They might think there's gonna be 20 boats there, 10 boats, I don't know what they're thinking. But the boats that are gonna be there, occasionally there's gonna be one or two outside that'll be covered. The majority of the time they will be inside.
The best
And this-
predictor of future behavior is past behavior. Let's remember that.
And let's stick to the subject, please.
And I understand that too, because what you say you will do now could be something that the development I live in was started under good, supposedly honest things, and some very nasty, nasty things happened to that subdivision. And so they went in with good intentions and left with bad.
I understand.
So I'm on the fence here. I'm on the fence.
So has the city been aware he's been running a business there in a residential area? Does he have a license for that? A member of the board. And you guys are just okay with that?
If you ask me, there's a lot of businesses along Beechwood that don't have
That's not answering the
licenses.
question.
Yeah, you're just dodging what I asked, that's all I'm asking.
Well, what I'm saying is, first of all, I didn't know he had a business there, he just told us he did. But, the air conditioning place you all are talking about does not have a business license to be there.
Well, why aren't you cracking down on the businesses then?
We're very small,
But why?
and we don't have 20 employees to run around and see what everybody's doing on each of their lots, nor would I think you would want that in this small town. You know, we do have an ordinance that talks about excess stuff in your yard, but, you know, we can only do what we can do.
Even though I'm not supposed to comment, I am gonna say one more thing. The future is more concerning than the present, because none of us live forever. Once that's rezoned, anything can go there, and that is a huge concern.
It's been blighted for a long time. Long time.
We've made a motion, so is everybody finished?
Are you
off?
guys ready to vote on the recommendation? I'm for the rezoning of, this lot.
I'm opposed.
I'm opposed.
And I'm for. So we've got
2-2.
2-2. And we don't have another vote, so I don't know if that means we have to do it again or
It fails.
It
fail.
fails.
Okay,
If it doesn't get a positive vote, it fails.
got it.
I don't get to vote, sorry, I'm a resident. I don't get to vote. No, I don't get to vote,
You don't
sorry.
get a vote.
Just the secretary.
I'm sorry. You just-
I felt the weight of the staring on me. I was like, I don't get to vote.
So then procedurally, does it go to, is the recommendation?
Does.
It does
Goes
go
to the
board.
council with a negative recommendation.
I got you.
Are you writing all this down? That's what you're supposed to do.
I did.
Can you explain that further when it goes to the council?
Sure. So zoning is a two-step process. The zoning commission is an advisory board, so they make a recommendation to the council. The council would have to pass the ordinance to adopt the zoning change, okay? And they would, they're not bound by the recommendation of this commission, but they would consider the recommendation of this commission. So the recommendation, since it didn't pass, the recommendation comes up as a negative recommendation.
And so it goes before the council when?
I don't know.
The 11th,
The board of
Yes,
trustees,
the
technically.
board of trustees.
And is there another public hearing, or is this our only opportunity to speak?
Do you all have a second public hearing?
No.
This
But-
is the only opportunity.
But the meeting next Monday is open and there's a citizen comment period during that meeting. So it's essentially kind of functions as a public hearing, although it's not advertised. Yeah, I mean, the meeting, again, just to be very clear, the meeting next Monday is open and the recommendation will go to the board. There will be an ordinance for board consideration also at that meeting.
Yes, and again, the ordinance would be to adopt the change so that it's an affirmative action. We always do things in the affirmative, because if you have negative motion, negative ordinance, then it's a double negative. A no vote is a yes, and a yes vote is a no. We try to avoid that. It's confusing to everyone.
So are we ready to move on?
Move
to
on.
the next thing?
Well, wait a minute, is it noted that everybody that showed up here today is opposed to this? Is that how that works?
She's written down the
We
minutes.
had 2 votes for yes.
You got a
and
tie
2
vote up
for
here
no.
on the board here.
Yeah, and just the minutes from the meeting will be part of what goes to the board. So the board of trustees will get all the information tonight. That was, the comments that were made, and then of course the discussion here and the vote.
All right, let's move on to the Sunrise Sprout subdivision.
Okay,
What do they want?
I make a motion that we have a vote on the subdivision of Sunrise Sprout Division.
Second.
Any
All in favor?
No,
No, any comment? No?
anybody? Okay, all in favor then?
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Okay, next is commission review of Allen Acres subdivision. Any
Alien.
comments?
Alien.
Alien, sorry.
It is unexpected.
So any comments?
The only comment that I have about this is it is also on Beechwood. And they are asking to subdivide a piece of that off, and I believe, there's no one here from there, is there? I believe it's because they want to put some kind of a throw in the disc park and RVs.
Little recreational areas, basically.
So but they're not here to really answer that for us, so.
No, just to be real clear, this is a subdivision only. It doesn't relate to use of the ground, and so there's a 35-acre tract, and they want to carve out 0.81 acre lot off of that 35 acres.
So we're not talking zoning at
Yeah,
all.
it's very simple and straightforward. Just to be very clear, though, the RVs, we had a meeting with the owner last week, and they do want to put more RVs there, and we told them they have to get a conditional use permit from the city. So if it does, if their plan does proceed, they'll have to come back here through planning and zoning to the board. And they have talked about adding a disc golf course and some other stuff, kind of relating to this alien theme. But again, this is a subdivision only, so it doesn't really relate to the use of the property.
I don't think
But
it's
all that
subdivision is any kind of issue, but the,
This is a minor subdivision, so I think all the stuff you're talking about would be on lot 2.
Yes, to my understanding.
Lot 1, which is what they're peeling off, is far too small.
Sure.
Right.
exactly, and that's
Less-
what we want to
less
make
than
sure
a-
that the RVs are over there.
Yeah, that lot's not big enough for much of anything, but a good small building.
Yeah, because our ordinance says that you can only put RVs up that you can't see from the street. of
All right,
each
this,
wood.
this doesn't do any of that. This is
No,
just
this is
chunking
just
off
for
this
the-
1 acre
yeah.
from a larger lot.
Okay. I make a motion that we vote on the subdivision.
Second.
Aye.
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 And I just say, while she's writing that down, Steve and I have talked about this, and I think at some point we want to come back to you all with a better process for these minor subdivisions.
Mhm.
They probably don't need to come to the full commission. It's probably something that can be done at a staff level.
Oh, okay. So in other words, we wouldn't have to send it to the board to
Yeah.
look at too.
When you're taking one little lot, you know,
Mhm.
or dividing a lot into 2 lots,
Right.
or conversely, taking 2 lots and
Combining them into one.
Yeah.
Okay,
We're not
that makes
talking-
sense.
We're not talking about building streets or anything there. It doesn't really need to go through the subdivision process.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Okay, we got a comprehensive plan update.
Yeah, so just real briefly, the survey closed July 11th. The consultant prepared the report that's in the board packet. We had 206 responses. Most of those were residents or property owners, workers or visitors. The results, at least an overview of the results is in this initial report. The next, the second public forum is August 26th at the Board of Realtors building. And so, of course, you're all invited, the public's invited. It will be an important meeting because essentially what's going to happen is we're going to give out the initial results and say, what do y'all think? It seems like there's support, at least according to these results, street maintenance and roads are one of the big concerns. So how do we approach that? And we really want to get some feedback from that second forum, and then all that information will be taken and then eventually brought back to planning and zoning in the form of the comprehensive plan. And so it is moving. I'm not going to be ready with the final draft of the comprehensive plan for the September meeting. It's just way too soon. But by October, at least my goal is to
Now,
have it
Steve, how
ready.
many replies did you get to the surveys that we sent out to all the residents?
206 total.
Okay.
And that is the paper surveys, the online surveys, that's everything. There were a few more that the consultants kind of weeded out because they appeared to be duplicates. But I think it overall was a pretty good response. Obviously, our population is 431. I don't think that, not the whole 206 was not all residents within the city limits, but it's a pretty good sample, I think, and it's pretty interesting. There's a lot of different comments. There isn't, at least in my opinion, there isn't a lot of strong consensus in some of the areas where there's been some discussion at the board level. I think number one pretty clearly is street maintenance and roads, and we have been, obviously last year we did a major paving project and we submitted a grant application for Beechwood last Monday, a week ago Monday. I'm attending a training tomorrow on that grant program. So we do hope to get Beechwood knocked out through a grant and then move on to other roads. But in any case, I don't know, the reports in the packet, look it over. If you want to discuss it with me, of course, just call or come by. But again, if you can attend that August 26th meeting, that would be very helpful.
Well, I mean, the whole purpose of these meetings was to get public input about what they want to see, how they want to see Sunrise Beach grow. And, I was hoping that we would get more attendance at that focus group because, most of the people, of course, said they wanted the roads paved and everything, but we didn't get a lot of input about what kind of business do you want here.
What time's that meeting and where?
4 p.m. to 6. At the Board of Realtors, 123 Auto Drive. I'll send a notice out. We don't have it. It's not ready to go yet, but I'll send it to the board. Of course, I'll post it on the website.
Next is the rescheduling of September meeting date, falls on Labor Day.
Yes, it does.
Right, so typically we do it the very next day. And right now I don't have any items for that meeting, no public hearings. But if we do have something come forward, I need to give the applicant a meeting date. So is it gonna be the next day, the 2nd, or you guys tell me?
So it'll be, and we're sure we're having a planning and zoning meeting?
No, we're not.
Oh, we're not.
I just
But if we
need-
do,
Yeah,
would we want to have it on Tuesday the 2nd?
I would recommend that, but depends on your availability.
Anybody else? No?
No, it's good for me.
Okay. Because the board meeting is, the board meeting.
I need to ask a question. I'm sorry I let you long ago. I'm hard hearing.
Go ahead.
I don't want you to download my water bill.
I'm not gonna do that, Larry.
Just a quick question. When I was on board, I didn't think you could be on the board of trustees and be on the planning and zoning both at the same time. And we have 2 of you that are on the board of trustees and 2 of you that are on planning and zoning. I just wondered if that was
I think I explained to you on the phone, I'm required to be here.
right.
And we can have another board member. We're supposed to have 7 full people. We, right now, only have 5. So we do need 2 more people if any of you want to volunteer. And, but that's the reason. Now, is that a statute or?
It is a statute.
I
It is
always
a
understood
statute.
that the chairperson was the only other one that could be on the board, not just one of the chairs. not just
No,
one.
it's a statute.
Chapter 89 is where the zoning.
I don't hear good.
Chapter 89 of the statute is where that's found, and it allows, the minimum number is 7, as the mayor said, chairman said. And of that 7, 1 can be the mayor, 1 can be a council person, and then 5 citizens. So they've got, right now, 1 mayor, 1 council person, and 3 citizens. So they're looking for more citizens.
Come on, volunteer.
Yeah, come on, Gene.
Next week, I thought we were by next month.
And planning and zoning, we don't have a meeting unless we have something to discuss. So, I mean, we can go 2 or 3 months and not have a meeting, and then all of a sudden have 2 meetings in a row. So I found before I was chairman that, and I was on planning and zoning, that we had like 6 meetings in 1 year. So it's not a big commitment. Usually they're about an hour. So if you or anyone in the city limits wants to be on planning and zoning, let her know.
There you go, I've already done my share.
I do have a question if I could ask about the survey that was done, the study.
Yes.
You said the top thing was road maintenance, street maintenance. What were the next couple things?
So that, what I'm referencing is we asked the question, what are the areas that need most improvement in Sunrise Beach? And street maintenance and roads was the number 1 concern. Water and sewer, business and economic development, parks and rec, traffic and lighting. So that's really what I'm referencing there.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
And August 26th, is that what you said?
August 26th.
August 26th, focus group, if you want to have more input on how we're going to go forward for the next 10 years. I mean, it's a comprehensive plan for how we're going to grow Sunrise Beach. and we like to get input.
That's here.
No, it's
No,
at
it's at the realtors.
Board of
The realtors up here by, across from the dispenser.
Yeah, across from that, the dealer.
Dispensary.
Oh, one might say. Sprout Selfish.
Yes, we have one more.
I make a motion that we adjourn.
There.
All in favor?
Aye.
Yeah, right.
One lot to see.
See you guys later.
Yeah, you can see.